What's going on, invaders? I'm Kirsty the Valkyrie, and welcome to Trashgasm, your weekly exploitation review. I'm here with Jake Noose and DJ Hodaddy, and this week we're going to be talking to you about Bad Biology. This is a 2008 Media Blasters, can't read my own handwriting, Media Blasters release that I actually saw on Netflix years ago. This was the second movie I ever streamed.
Wow.
I don't know why I decided to watch it, to be honest with you. I had totally different tastes back then. But this was actually one of the first, legitimately trashy movies I ever saw. So it holds a special place in my heart, and I wanted to share that with you guys.
Aww.
Yeah, very sentimental moment. So in this movie, we have a sexually insatiable woman, and she finds the man of her dreams, who ends up having a penis that has been injected with so many steroids that it has developed its own conscious state of being. So, Hodaddy.
I think we can all relate to that.
All right. Okay, Hodaddy, what did you think of this?
I thought this movie was livin' libido loco.
Why are you so good at this?
I don't know. That's just my thing. So I would describe this movie as a cross between Idle Hands and Teeth. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah. Awesome.
Wow.
I give you points for knowing what teeth
I got
is.
one. High five!
Yeah.
High five! Yeah!
The highlights for me were the over-the-top slapstick comedic parts. I think those were just its biggest merits. Just the ridiculous sex scenes and King Dong wrestling his own junk. But the biggest flaw, I guess, was just some of the actors were just painfully boring for me.
Yeah.
Overall, I gave this movie a 2 out of 5 wiener wranglers. Did you like this one?
I love this movie, actually. This is probably one of my favorites. For me, basically, if you take the black comedy of Basket Case and Bride of Reanimator and hypersexualize it, that's totally what this movie is. For me, the highlight is how over the top it is. We've got this woman who has such strong orgasms, she ends up murdering her lovers. And we've got this guy with a penis that's so monstrous and conscious, he has to, tape it to his own leg to keep it from moving, and that doesn't even stop it half the time. So, obviously, this movie, it went there and beyond. But also, on the same token, it kind of went a little too far, to where it's alright, I get what you mean. You can stop that now, because I'm really uncomfortable.
Yeah, don't watch this with your parents.
God, no. Or your children. You're going to have to answer some really awkward questions.
I've got a story about that.
Oh, God.
So,
well, before you do that, so, I love this movie. I think it's great. 4 out of 5 partially formed bathtub babies.
Oh, I forgot about that.
How can you forget? Those things haunt my nightmares.
That was weird.
And then the monologue afterwards was
yeah.
What is... so bizarre.
Alright, Jake, you go.
If I had to describe this movie, I'd say that it's a combination of John Waters' A Dirty Shame mixed with X-Men, only with a whole bunch of lower budgets.
Yeah, I can see that.
Kind of on the mutant side, I guess you could say. As for the strengths of this movie, there's one scene in particular when one of the characters walks in on the guy with the giant penis. She walks in on him in the bathroom as he's fighting the giant penis, and it's a 1 or 2 second long clip, and that is art. Because that is by far the most accurate depiction of puberty that I have ever seen. And it was just in 1 or 2 seconds. So, way to go on that, Henenlotter. That was perfect.
I think that was my favorite scene as well.
As for the flaws, the jokes in this, for me, are the biggest flaw. The script in it is a lot of the jokes they got the concept, and they didn't go any further than the concept. They didn't go into the execution stage, and so a lot of the humor was based on the shock. For me, it didn't hit home. It was like, yeah, I get it. This girl's orgasms are supposed to be comedic, but it's just like, yeah, I get it. Okay, let's go.
Were you banging your head against the floor too?
Yeah. Not quite that. It wasn't that bad, but overall, though, I'd have to give this movie 2 out of 7 clitorises.
Why didn't I think of that? That's perfect. Oh my god.
Okay, we all had very different experiences with this movie, but what I want to know, and this is like a very serious issue, what did our leading lady do with the bodies of her gentlemen suitors? Like,
Oh, Daddy?
I don't know. Maybe chopped him up and left him in the bathtub with her babies.
that's what I was actually going to say. I was going to say, she probably did the exact same thing as she did with her babies. She beat up her men and then left them in rusty cars along with her spawn.
God.
I think she took the bodies and she saved them for future photo sessions. Because she was a photographer. She was always taking pictures of the dead bodies. So, I mean, what's going to stop her from saving it to take more pictures in the future?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. So, there's our take on bad biology, and we would like to know, if you've seen this movie, what you think that our leading lady did with the bodies of her gentlemen suitors. Or if you haven't seen this movie, we'd love for you to make a recommendation for something we can watch in the future. For more Trashgasms, make sure that you subscribe. Join us next week, where we're going to be talking about Gone in 60 Seconds. Until then, I'm Kirsty the Valkyrie. This has been your weekly Trashgasm, reminding you to keep it trashy.